We've got a brand new look at the Batgirl solo film coming to HBO Max later this year, featuring the return of J.K. Simmons as Commissioner Gordon. He looks a lot different than he did in the Snyder Cut. Is this a flashback or an alternate version of J.K. Simmons in the role? Let's discuss. What's going on, DC fans? Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, the Viking. Make sure you give a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for a brand new video every single day. The DC universe is very complicated right now because we don't know what direction it's going in. The Batgirl movie is coming out later this year. Michael Keaton's Batman will be in it. We've seen set photos of a Robin existing in this world as well. Leslie Grace will be Barbara Gordon, the new Batgirl. And also J.K. Simmons is in this movie as well, as Commissioner Gordon. And when J.K. Simmons was announced to be in Batgirl, everybody thought, well, Batfleck is 100% still in the DCEU. He is still Batman and he might pop up in this movie because his Commissioner Gordon is in the film. But then Michael Keaton was announced, even though the directors hinted at Batfleck, which I'm a little bit still annoyed at. But Ben Affleck could still pop up in this movie. And he could still be alive within the DCU, just doing something else or retired. I don't know. Because Ezra Miller's latest Instagram post gave us a lot of hope, which I will do a video on later, so keep posted to the channel for that. We've got so many questions. And unfortunately, I don't really have the answers. Only some theories, only some thoughts about it. And then you guys can get into the comment section and let me know what you think. I am sad that Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 isn't in development right now, but someday it could be. I still hold out hope, because when the Snyder Cut didn't exist in terms of it wasn't coming, I wasn't as invested in the DCU because I was still annoyed we never got Justice League, we never got the Batman, we never got Man of Steel 2 or whatever. But I watched Shazam, Wonder Woman 2, The Suicide Squad. I went into those movies, I watched them, I enjoyed them, but it wasn't anything like Man of Steel, BVS to me, and then later the Snyder Cut. And I really like the Suicide Squad, I like Peacemaker, but you know what? I'm invested in that Snyderverse. And with the multiverse, the Snyderverse can live on in its own pocket in the universe. Yes, they can have the same actors playing the same roles, but it's different multiverse versions of them. Very much like the X-Men universe was at times as well. I'm okay with that. If Batfleck can be in the Flash, then he can also be in the Snyderverse as well. They don't have to exist together, they don't have to connect together, but they can connect through the multiverse. So there's numerous ways that you can do it, 100%. But when it comes to Batgirl, it's hard to know exactly what's going on, because it looks like that this Batgirl movie is in the new pocket of DCU. Michael Keaton will be in it. He is going to be the DCEU Batman, which I predicted for a long time now. I think that he will be the mentor to the new Justice League. He will recruit new members and stuff like that. And that looks like it's going to be a reality with Batfleck stepping away. But there's always hope. He can still come back either in the Snyderverse, or if they really wanted to, they could bring him back for future DCU theatrical appearances. Because look, Patrick Stewart died in X-Men 3 and he came back for the Wolverine, setting up Days of Future Past. They're movies. Anything can happen. It's not as, deep as we might think. But these latest set photos from the Batgirl movie are very interesting and maybe telling about what exactly is going on, because J.K. Simmons is back. He was in the Snyder Cut, but he looks younger in these set photos. And it looks like it's a flashback. Now, a big question I have right now is, in this flashback, who's the Batman? It has to be Ben Affleck's Batman. Or is this an alternate version of J.K. Simmons as Commissioner Gordon? And he was Jim Gordon in the Snyderverse, in the pre-Flash movie world as well. But also there was a version of him that was in the Michael Keaton timeline. I don't really know. So who is his Batman? I would love it to be Ben Affleck's Batman. We get to see an appearance, even if it's a stunt double jumping across roofs. That would be pretty awesome to me. I think that would be pretty cool. Or maybe Ben Affleck could show up and shoot a scene. Like, why not? Let's do this. This would be awesome. It's more exposure for the movie. It's more exposure for Leslie Grace in the role. We'll have to wait and see. Who is his Batman at this moment in time? Because it looks like in the modern day Batgirl story, Jim Gordon's Batman is Michael Keaton's Batman, which is confusing, so what exactly is going on? But with these set photos, he looks younger, he has the same fashion style as the Snyder Cut, so that hasn't improved, and it looks like this is 10, 15 years ago, pre-Batgirl, that we get to see pre-Batgirl in the modern era. But he's there with his hat, his trench coat and stuff like that, but his mustache isn't as grey, it looks a little bit younger, and his hair as well seems to be red. So it's obviously a flashback then. And he's also with a woman who I'm presuming is his wife, and a young girl who I'm presuming is a younger version of Leslie Grace, Barbara Gordon, who later becomes Batgirl. So I think he looked great. J.K. Simmons is an amazing actor. He was in Spider-Man No Way Home. He is crossing in and out of the multiverse, very much like Michael Keaton, who was in Morbius. He's in Spider-Man, the MCU, the Sonyverse, and now the DCEU, this new DC universe that we're seeing. So J.K. Simmons looks great. He's a terrific actor. He's fantastic. He's too good to waste. But the biggest questions we have is, what pocket of the universe is this? In the flashbacks, does a Batman exist at all? Who's the Batman? Because Michael Keaton has been Batman since 1989. So is this that universe, or is Michael Keaton in a different universe and then he gets pulled into this one? I don't know. It's very confusing. So hopefully the film does a good job of depicting it and showing us exactly how all of this works. But we also have set photos here that may be spoilers for the movie. Now, it's not on the nose, this is just my thought, this is just my theory, so if you don't want anything spoiled or potentially spoiled, then check out the video, come back later for the Ezra Miller Batfleck talk. But the stunt crew, or the behind the scenes team, was testing explosions and blowing up residents, which seems to be the Gordons. That's their family home. A big fire happens, so I'm guessing, since we haven't seen, or there hasn't been a cast announcement for Leslie Grace's Barbara Gordon, her mom, I'm presuming this fire happens, Jim Gordon is able to get his daughter out, or Barbara gets out herself, but her mother does not, and she dies in this fire. And maybe that's connected to the Firefly villain, Brendan Fraser. Maybe he's been around for the last 20 years and got him. I don't know. So that's maybe a reason why Batgirl is created. That's her origin in this movie. She's on a mission of revenge to find the killer that killed her mom. So that could be a potential spoiler. That's just me guessing right now. But that is Jim Gordon's home. A massive fire happens, and we'll have to see how that develops when we watch the movie. Or maybe it will be in the trailer as a big story point. Now, there's another image here of Leslie Grace as Batgirl, which I don't think I've talked about on the channel. And it's more set photos of her in the costume. Look, the first look for me, it's a first look. All these suits look better in motion. This is probably the worst that the suit is ever going to look in that first official image released by Leslie Grace. And even then, I don't think it was terrible because she's just starting. What is she, like just 20 or early 20s or something like that? So that suit will develop over time. You've seen Batman, Spider-Man, they've had early drafts of their suits, and then they get better ones as the movies go on. Batfleck had a tactical one, he had, the one against Superman, he had his normal one. So look, it also depends on the story. Why she needs this suit could be because she made it herself, and then Michael Keaton comes in later on in the movie, gives her a proper suit. And then in the first official image that was released, she had a yellow cape. And in these new set photos, she does not have that. So maybe this character is going through trial and error with her suits. And she's like, oh, the yellow cape is too bright, people can see me. Let's try a black one. Let's see how this works. Let's try different boots. Let's try different gloves. Stuff like that. So I would love that, because you don't really see that too often in comic book movies. And especially when a comic book character doesn't have any supernatural abilities, they have to be very careful about who sees them and who does not. So then she's like, okay, I need to have a darker outfit. This isn't going to work. So that would be pretty cool. And maybe that's a reason. Maybe that's a story beat in the actual movie. But these new set images, I think she looks absolutely fine. I don't think it looks terrible like a lot of people are saying online. So the Batgirl film is set to come out later this year on HBO Max. Maybe we'll get a limited theatrical release as well, because Blue Beetle was supposed to be HBO Max and now it's going to be theatrical. But I'm looking forward to this one. Look, I'm not like overly, oh my god, I'm so excited for the future of DC movies. I'm not. I haven't been since Batman v Superman. I really haven't, because they swapped that out 30 minutes, took 30 minutes out with Suicide Squad. Even though I liked it, Jared Leto was pissed off at the scenes being cut. You know, Wonder Woman was pretty good, but then JL-17 happened, Henry Cavill, Batfleck, Jared Leto, Joe Manganiello, all these actors left. And I'm still very much pissed off at that, but I'm not going to spend my days just crying online or being sad. I will watch the trailers. If they're good, I'll check out the movie. I'll give an honest review. If I like it, I like it. If I don't, I don't. I move on to the next thing, because I'm not as invested. And Warner Brothers have themselves to blame. If things don't work out, the box office will show that, you know, because they've botched this universe time and time again. I will watch The Flash, I'll see what it's like, Black Adam, Aquaman 2, you know, some projects I am looking forward to. I'm really enjoying Peacemaker right now. I really like the Suicide Squad movie, so there is some things that I really do like and really enjoy with this universe. But the biggest questions we have right now is about the multiverse, about these different timelines, about where is Batfleck, how is Michael Keaton now J.K. Simmons as Batman, stuff like that. It's very, I'll say, interesting. Curious is another word as well, and I'm also kind of, I don't know how to feel about this, because I need to see how it's presented on screen. I really do. So we'll talk about the Ezra Miller Instagram post, which was interesting and also weird, in a later video later this day. So guys, thanks for watching this one. What do you think of our first look at J.K. Simmons on the set of Batgirl? He doesn't look that much different than the Snyder Cut at all. A little bit younger, I think. It's definitely a flashback. And what do you think about, is that his wife, and will she die in the scene? Also, let me know your thoughts on the Batgirl costume. Do you think the first official look was better than this recent set image? Which you think works better? Does it still need some improvement? Let me know below, guys. Thanks for watching. Give a thumbs up, subscribe, check later on the channel for the Batfleck Ezra Miller video, and also Peacemaker episode 6 review, discussion, breakdown, all that good stuff. Guys, thanks for watching. See you then in the next video.